Eyes down for the Good afternoon, folks. Wednesday, yes, Wednesday. Monday I was taking my daughter back to uni for a week. Tuesday was absorbed trying to get a door key out of the heater box of a Citroen Berlingo, because they have very open screen vents on the front of the dashboard, and somebody had chucked the key on the front of the dashboard and it had disappeared straight down the vent. And eventually we gave up and looked on the internet, and it's a matter of stripping the whole centre console down and getting into the box, and we thought, sod it, just cut another key, leave it in there. So there you go. So there's a drive shaft. Oh, I'll tell you what else I did yesterday. I went up in a loft and changed 2 ball valve washers, which was rather warm, but luckily not as warm as it will be today, so I'm glad I did it yesterday. Right, there's the drive shaft. All on, all sorted. I'm just a little unhappy because that bearing there is a little bit stiff, whereas that one is super free. And I think that one might not last, but well, I'm going to start it up in a minute and find out. Anyway, what a rig. Let's just step back and see if we can get it all in. It doesn't look like we can, and I'm zoomed right out. But there it is. Completed. Completed. What do I have left to do on that? Nothing. On that. The charging circuit. I need to look at the charging circuit, and I also need to put a little buzzer in the box there, because the keys are going to get left on. I need a buzzer that stops buzzing when it starts charging, the same as I put on the 2CV tractor. So that's next job. I don't want to do it. I may not do it. I may do it tomorrow. So what I might do today is to start my copper casting project. There's my furnace, and there's my wood for making me mould boxes with, flasks. So I might get that started now and see about having a melt. I don't know. The bench is reasonably tidy. The saw is ready to go. I could bang those boxes up in no time. I'll get started and see how I do. Bye now. So there we have it, folks. All the pieces of wood cut out of wonderful decking. Or as they say in New Zealand, dicking. Right, and I've put the that's the what you'd normally use as the top side. That's the underside, which has the coarser. Oh, I suppose you could use it either way depending on what pattern you wanted. But I'm putting the coarse slots to the inside to grip the sand. So that's all our wood cut. And now, pile of screws, holes to drill, let's put it together. Okay, I'll bring you back when it's done. Bye now. And there we go, folks. All finished and ready to assemble, but I've left my electric screwdriver at home. So I'm just charging up one of the rechargeable drills to see if that'll do it. But basically I've just taken the ridges off so they'll go flat together and glue together and seal. And they're ready to be glued and screwed. So there you go. Mr. Pedantic makes a mould flask. Right, I'll bring you back when I've done some more. Bye now. Oh, here's an interesting little thing. What a strange little adjustable spanner is that. I think it's a multi-tool. I think it's like a spanner and a square for doing square nuts or whatever. Screwdriver on the end. One of the late Ken's relics. But it's nice, I like it. Nice thing. That's some sort of multiple carriage key. I don't know. I don't know what that's off. That's another nice thing. And there's one or two. I have one or two more bits that I've just. Here we are. Look. Have I shown you this before? Barnfather Brothers, Prize Builders, Stoke, Leek and Eccles. That's I would guess a wagon nut from the centre of a wooden wagon wheel on a big Lancashire wagon, not a Yorkshire wagon, because all those places are in Lancashire. Right, I'll bring you back when I've done a bit more. Bye now. Good morning, folks. Thursday, 10:30, and I've come to a conclusion about this. This is too tight. I'm going to have to take it off again and ease it. If you look at the bottom one, the bottom one's beautifully free. Fabulous. This one is just a bit too tight. That's going to melt the plastic and make a right bloody mess and probably wreck it. So I'm going to take it off again and either ease the collar on the metal or ease the nylon. The problem is I need to be in the lathe really, and neither of them are easy to put in the lathe, so I'm going to take it all to bits, which doesn't take long, and then see what I can do. Okay, bring you back when I'm on with it. Good morning, folks, and welcome to Sketchy Lathe Setups R Us. Right, I've got that centred with the big bull nose so it doesn't flop down and smash into the lathe carriage. And I've managed to true that up, because what had happened was where they'd pressed it out of the old one, pressed the old tube out, it had actually damaged this edge and squashed it. Right, so what's happening now is it's catching on actually on the bottom of the slot, as you can see from this. You see where it's ragging it up around the edges? It's catching on the bottom of the slot. I've measured it carefully and it is indeed catching on the bottom of the slot. So what I'm going to do now is just relieve this a bit. I'll leave that in there just in case, and I'll relieve this a bit and see if we can't get a better fit. The thing is, it's supposed to touch together there, and it isn't doing. And when you squeeze it together there, it binds. And if it binds on there at working speed, even though you do pack this with grease, at working speed it's just going to overheat and melt the plastic. I know it is. So there you go. So I shall carry on beavering away at this and try and make it fit decently. What a pain. But there you go. Let's keep going. Bye now. So folks, after this was squared up where they squashed it, I blued the slot, blued the bottom of the strip, and basically dremeled it off. Can I get this off with one hand? Yes, I can. Dremeled it off around there, dremeled all the high spots off with a little sanding pad until it went free. And that's the job done. I can put it back together, thank goodness for that. Bye now. And there we are, folks. Back on, fitted, all nice and free. Job done. So that prop shaft is now finished. So what is left to do? What is left to do is the charging circuit. And that's it. I think that's it. Everything else seems to be working hunky-dory. So I need to do the charging circuit, and I'm going to do that tomorrow, because I've just about had enough of this tractor. It's just stretched my patience to the limit. I mean, things like that prop shaft, you wouldn't have thought that, you know, you thought, oh well, it's near enough for agriculture, it works, and you know, it slides in and out enough, and then I put it on the tractor, and then I started the tractor and put it into gear, and it's wobbling and vibrating all over the place. So it just wasn't good enough. So there we are. So that's done, and now we have to do the charging circuit, and we have to touch up the paintwork just where there's bare metal or lumps chipped off, and we're done. Thank the Lord for that. Right, now I'm going to do, seeing as I brought my drill today, my electric screwdriver today, I'm going to put the moulding flask together and put some handles on it and put some locators on it. So I'll crack on with that, and I'll bring you back when I've done it. But first I'm going to have a cup of tea. Bye now. And there we are, folks, all assembled, screwed and glued. I'm going to sneeze. Oh dear. Ah, maybe I'm not. Screwed and glued and weighted. I've got the fit corner to corner right. I'm going to leave them there for a couple of hours while I sort some handles out, and then we can put handles on them and put a couple of guides on them just to make them fit together in the same position every time. Okay, bye now. There we go, folks. I don't know what time it is because my watch is quick, but it's after 3 o'clock. So we've got 2 handles on that side, we've got 2 almost matching handles on that side, and there's a cope and a drag. And the easiest way to remember is the fact that the drag drags on the ground. Right, so next I have to make some little bits for this side, with like a V there, and a V-shaped piece that drops into it to line it all up. Perfect every time. So I think the ones we used at school, I think they were just a piece of angle iron with a hole in it and a tapered pin that dropped down into it. I think that's all they were, but I'll see what I can come up with. Right, there we go. I'll bring you back in a minute. Bye now. Good morning, people. Friday. Just gone 11 o'clock. And I'm going to tackle the charging circuit. But I just thought I'd give you a view of the whole thing from a position where I can get far enough back to get it all in. Right, it's up on the hydraulics, so we're going in there again. 4 screws and we're in. Right, I shall crack on with it. I'll bring you back when I've found something out, if I do find anything out. Bye now. Well, folks, a slight adjustment to the cutout box, and it's charging, but it's not charging at low RPM, which it should be, I think. Right, you have to put quite a few revs on before it clicks over and starts charging. I think I might get a new cutout box, because I've put enough time into this one. I've set it as accurately as I possibly can, and it's still not quite right. And I know the dynamo is alright because it's new, and I thought it was faulty, and then I realised it wasn't faulty. And I've just looked again. In both books and checked the information, and it really doesn't make a lot of sense. Is that dripping, that tap? It might be. I'll have to check that out. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. We've got 2 pieces of paper that say different things for the same test. So there you go. So I think I'll be looking for another cutout box. But other than that, it's now time to touch it up, because it's finished. Just touch up the little scratches like that one, and that's the worst one. So I shall crack on and do that. And then, apart from the registration argument, she's finished, but I've got to ring the guy. I've got to ring the Fordson Major Association of Great Britain up and talk to the man there, because apparently he's good at getting him registered. He's a good man at getting him registered, and the DVLA did say get onto the owners club and they will probably sort this out for you. Right, so I've got that to do. Let's get some touching up done. Let's get a little brush and do some touching up. Right, I'll bring you back when I've done it. Another little repair done. Isn't that cute? Of course, it isn't what it looks like. It looks quite interesting, but in actual fact, if you turn the light on, you see that it's two yellow lights, a little computer fan and a bit of flappy cloth. But turn the lights off again, it's quite convincing, isn't it? Quite convincing indeed. I like it. And of course it's on the classic Gothic stand as well, although it will hang up from the chains. I'll give it to one of my daughters, I think. They'll love it. Circulates the air, doesn't it? It's a ventilation fan. Right, well then, we've got the touching up done, all the bits I can see, and there's no more bare metal. I've got the nasty bits done, all the screws on the centre console, if you like, done. All the bits on the bonnet are done, and generally I think it's finished. I think it's completely, utterly and absolutely finished. Touched the edges of the tank up and the little bits where it had got bumped, the screws there, etc, etc. That's as far as I'm going, but doesn't she look well? Doesn't she look well? Right, thank the Lord for that. It's finished. It's blooming well finished. I can now, I'm still not happy with the charging circuit. I think I'm going to order a new cutout for it and see how that goes. They're about 35 quid, and it's not really worth me spending any more time struggling with that one. I may as well just fit a new one and then see what happens, and I can start complaining again if it doesn't charge properly. Or I could just do what everybody else does and stick a bloody alternator in it. I like to have it authentic, though. There's nothing wrong with dynamos. When I started in the motor trade in the 70s, half of what I was working on had dynamos on. All the minis had dynamos on, the only later ones that had alternators, and virtually everything had a dynamo, and I mean, I used to rebuild dynamos all the time. But there you go. Right. Okay, so the next little job is to make a couple of alignment devices so that I can just drop this top lid on and it fits and it aligns in the same time every time. Well, I've had a think about it and I've come up with something, and I'm now going to start putting it together. But first of all, I'm going to drink my tea. Bye now. Right folks, well, time has beat me again. I got into tidying up and then was putting tools away in the drawers and got a load of drawers jammed, so I had to sort them out. But this is the plan. This is the plan. Piece of plate with screw holes in it, with a piece of strip like that welded to it, and matching socket, piece of plate with two bits of strip welded to it, and obviously you'd fit the top one right to the top of the wood, and then you'd bring that one up to it and then weld that to suit. so that it dropped exactly into position, but also it's easy to align, and the back of that would rub down that metal so that it would align it in that direction and in that direction as well. So I think that's going to work. So that's what I'm going to knock up on Monday, but at the moment it's 4:37, the time has gone, the week has gone. Oh look, here's a little project I'm working on. This is a Beagle Pup aeroplane with a faulty fuel gauge. It's got a port tank and a starboard tank, and it did work, and then he took it for a flight. One side worked, and when he brought it back from the flight, neither side worked, and the gauge goes full scale deflection. So it looks like we have a problem, right? Either an earthed out cable, or a faulty switch, or a faulty gauge. But I might pop over to Leeds East with my brother to have a look at that, and if I do, I'll take you with me, and we'll have a go at mending some aircraft electrics. Right, that's it for today. I'm very pleased with this. It's gone really well. So we'll get those made Monday. The tractor, as I say, is finished. So I must tidy this bloody workshop up. It's got to be a real... I've been leaving everything while I finish the tractor. Well, now I've finished the tractor and I've got no excuse. So I'm going to have to just get stuck in and do it. It needs reorganising. Once again, it needs reorganising. I might have a couple of days on it next week. In between, well, I'll finish that first, and then I need to sort that lot out over there. I really do need to sort that lot out over there. Make some more room. Get rid of some stuff. So, as I was saying, thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. 5 more subscribers this week. Thank you very much to all of you. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye now. Look at that. Wonderful. Bye bye.